What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Getting Technical. Joined by Raleigh and Sam. We are missing Cha this episode. We've yet to have all four of us, but sooner or later
Partly
we will.
my fault.
But yeah, a lot of things going on in the NFL season. It's been a pretty hectic weekend, and I mean, two teams that have been, really good so far and shocked a lot of people. One of them would be the Dolphins, and then obviously, as predicted, the Bills. The Bills played Monday night and steamrolled the Titans. So, I mean, what do you guys think about the Bills? Like, are they legit, like, the best team in the NFL? Is this Josh Allen's year? Are they, good enough on both sides of the ball to, maintain this level of play?
Yeah, I mean, as of right now, there's really no other team that's competing with them on this kind of level, offensively and defensively, and their special teams look great also. They had a couple turnovers on the special team side that got them in great field position. So as of right now, they got the best quarterback, they got the best wide receiver. Their defense is top-notch. I mean, they shut down Derrick Henry. I mean, Tannehill looked like he was struggling the entire night. They're easily the best one in the AFC. NFC is kind of weak right now, especially because the Rams have been struggling. They almost lost to the Falcons this week. Packers finally had a good game, but it's on Sunday night against the Bears, so kind of expected to win.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Brady, it looks like he finally hit that age.
Yeah.
So it's really...
I don't know. I mean, I hope it's not over, but I mean, obviously it seems like a lot of the off-the-field issues are, like, playing with him mentally, and it's kind of, like, taking a toll on him. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't really see anyone other than the Chiefs really giving the Bills a run for their money. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know if anyone in the NFC has enough firepower for them. It doesn't seem like it. I mean, like, as of right now, the top team in the NFC looks like the Philadelphia Eagles.
For sure. Yeah.
And I don't even know if they're legit.
We
Like,
gotta wait to the playoffs to really see.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, they didn't look that good in the playoffs last year against the Bucs.
No, and that seems like a bit of an overreaction. Early everyone's like super high on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, and hey, I mean, like, they're up until this point, 2 weeks in, can't really say much.
They look awesome.
Yeah, they look great. But I mean, who'd they play? They played the Lions and they played the Vikings, and I think a lot of people overreacted on the Vikings after week one.
Week one Packers, did the same exact thing.
Against the Saints, and they got 35-3 or something like that
Something
against
like that.
Jameis Winston
Then
for
they
5
won,
touchdowns.
7 in a row.
Yeah. So I'm not too. You can't get too head over heels after 2 weeks. I even saw a lot of people talking about, is Derrick Henry done? I mean, is he?
It's just way too early.
I don't know if it's that he's done. I think that the whole dynamic of the offense has changed now, going from A.J. Brown to Treylon Burks. And also, I mean, Robert Woods doesn't look like the same Robert Woods after that injury. The offensive line really isn't getting much of a push. Like, that whole offense is determined on how Derrick Henry runs the football. And when you have a defense like the Bills, he's not going to have much success.
I mean, they looked great on the first drive. I was like, oh, this is going to be a shootout at first. But back to, like, the Packers, I saw this tweet. I just wanted to bring it up the other day. It says it's like week 2 Aaron Jones. So going back the past 4 years, so 2019 in week 2, he had 150 yards and a touchdown for 25 fantasy points. 2020, he had 236 yards with 3 touchdowns for 45.6 fantasy points.
I remember that.
Last year, he had 115 yards, 4 touchdowns for 41.5 fantasy points. And then was that Sunday night?
Yeah, Sunday night.
On Sunday night, he had 170 yards, 2 touchdowns, 32 fantasy points. It's pretty crazy how he's been so good. I feel like every year they kind of have that primetime Sunday night game week 2.
Especially against the Bears.
Yeah,
maybe that's why. Maybe they're just playing the Bears week 2.
Seriously. I know that they had it back in the 2018-19 season. They had, I think it was actually week 1, they played Sunday Night Football against the Bears because it was like the 300th game or something. Like, it was some big anniversary about their rivalry and everything, and they slaughtered them on that night too. So
I'm nervous if I'm a Bears fan right now. I'm not trying to hate, but Justin Fields, like, they're not even letting him throw the ball.
No.
Yeah, I saw that stat. He only has like 16 passing attempts or something like that. It's so bad.
It's brutal. They're tough to watch.
You thought it would change now getting rid of Matt Nagy, and I forgot who's running the offense now over there, but it's just as bad as it was.
I think year 2 guy, like you just gotta let him at least let him try.
Right.
Well, I mean, it's also
you're not gonna find out about him.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, they played week 2 in Lambeau. Right, and then, I mean, week 1, I mean, you can't really judge anything off of that.
49ers. So they played 2 really good defenses.
Against a short 49ers team, no Kittle.
Yeah, but
Elijah
that game,
it
doesn't even matter who's playing. Like, bro, that was a tsunami. They were playing in the mud, like little kids. Like, that. I mean, no one could throw those. I mean, Trey Lance looked like shit also. And, I mean, speaking about Trey Lance, I mean, done for the year.
Broken ankle. Unbelievable. Good thing they didn't trade Jimmy G, huh?
Right.
It's insane. I mean, I actually had Trey Lance in one of my leagues. It was a 2 QB league. I dropped and picked up Jimmy Garoppolo right away. And I think George Kittle should be coming back this week. He sat out the first 2 weeks. He still limited practice today, but I think he's going to have 2 full practices for Thursday and Friday, and he should be good to go. But
I think you could tell like those guys were like excited to have Jimmy G back.
Yeah. I saw that. I saw that celebration.
Because they've been so successful with him. It's like they just kind of like Trey Lance. Did he really earn that spot, or did they just give it to him because they traded all these picks? They drafted him so high.
Right, they felt obligated to use him, but like they have trust in Jimmy G.
It's like Jimmy G.
I think it's just what Shanahan wants. Like, I think Shanahan just wants a quarterback that can run the offense that he wants to run, even though it's the same kind of offense that not the same offense, but he ran the Atlanta Falcons offense, and Matt Ryan had like 4,500 yards, 40 TDs, was an MVP. Like, he was a pocket passer.
Right, pretty comparable to Jimmy G's style of thrower. I mean, Matt Ryan's a better thrower of the ball, but
right. But you don't need a guy like Trey Lance, whose main thing, like, they wanted him to be able to run the football and be an athletic guy, roll out of the pocket, and make the offense different.
Right, and I feel like even just having Debo like makes you more dynamic as an offense. Like, just having a guy like that can do both. But I mean, so if the 49ers make a run this year and they go to a NFC Championship game or a divisional round with Jimmy G, what do you do?
I mean, they did it last year. They beat Rodgers in Lambeau, no?
Yeah.
And I mean, it didn't seem to change their mind that much. So I don't know. And now he's going to be coming off this big surgery, like
similar to Dak Prescott's injury, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's out for the whole year. It has to be pretty bad, no? I mean,
hopefully I think Dax was a little
makes
more.
A full recovery.
Yeah. I think Dax he had ligament damage on top of the fracture.
Yeah.
Back to the Bills, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think.
What do you think?
I think the Bills are gonna go to the AFC Championship. I had them as my Super Bowl prediction, but KC does look really good this year. I think that's going to be the AFC Championship game again. I think Josh Allen and Mahomes are going to meet up for what is this going to be the 3rd time in the playoffs?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mahomes has his number so far, but the Bills look pretty damn promising so far.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you guys know I picked Josh Allen for MVP. I said he was the number 1 quarterback. I picked the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I think the most surprising thing to me this year, though, has been how good Von Miller's been for them.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that at all. He's been lights out.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's so good. He's so good. He's better than he was last year.
He looks so elite right now. That defense is crazy because they had that shootout, with him and Mahomes. It was like, ultimately, it's like Josh Allen didn't lose that game. I mean, he didn't have the chance to win it.
Mahomes won it.
Their defense couldn't get a stop, and they had, going into that game, the best defense, quote unquote. And in 13 seconds, they got down into field goal range.
Yeah, he hit. Who did he hit? I think he hit Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, and then I think the last one was Kelsey, and then they called timeout, and then they got the field goal.
Like Josh Allen balled out there, but that offense looks so good too. You guys saw that stat, obviously, like on Monday night in 4 of their last 6 games, they hadn't even punted.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
even
it was like in the 3rd
teams,
quarter they had their first punch of the season.
Yeah, it's like their punter, like he punted, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times. The end of the game was like no one was really paying attention, but they muffed 2 of the punts.
Yeah.
Like the guys couldn't even catch their punts.
Those defense had like 20 points in fantasy.
22.
Oh, yeah, I have
those
them in one
turnovers.
league, yeah.
22. I was playing against them.
I had the Bucks in another one put up like 25.
Yeah, 3 picks against
Look.
Jameis, one of them for a pick six.
Pick 6, yeah.
I agree. It seems as if Josh Allen and Mahomes are really separating themselves as the two best quarterbacks.
It seems
And
like
it's not
Brady.
really
It seems like
close.
Brady and Manning. It's like
Yeah.
like Brady and Manning all over again,
Because-
just a different era.
Who? Herbert 3 maybe.
I mean,
But I think there's a pretty significant drop after those two.
in the AFC or just in the
Just
league?
in the league.
Yeah, in
Like those two seem to be at least like just ridiculousness. Like they're just 1A and 1B. There's a lot of great quarterbacks.
is
but those
Herbert-
two
I mean,
are, like-
Lamar.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Is Herbert that head and shoulders above Lamar right now?
Not right now.
I don't
No,
think so.
I would,
I mean,
I would
he's-
say Lamar right now is number 3.
We don't
Just-
even know. Is Herbert playing this week?
I don't know. I don't know how bad that rib injury was.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna have to wait and see this week.
yeah, I mean Lamar, like he's Showtime also. So it's like those are like Josh Allen and Mahomes are like if they're on, like I want to watch them.
Yeah.
Like they're must-watch TV.
And so is Lamar. I mean, especially with the way he had 119 rushing yards on top of it.
At 400.
Bro, it's the
400
dual
total
threat
yards.
guys for the most part. Like Jalen Hurts, he's
Yeah.
fun to watch.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's like a top. quarterback.
Kyler Murray was spectacular this weekend.
Second
again.
half.
Yeah, but I'm saying that last
It was
play,
looking like doomsday for them in the first.
Yeah,
like,
they
I
were
was
oh,
like,
yeah.
what's going
they were
on
down
with
20
them?
nothing at one point.
But bro, that play where he had to get the 2-point conversion,
Yeah, he's
bro, it was
running around, he broke
21
Max
seconds.
Crosby's
They
head.
timed it. Kyler
He
Murray
ran
was
like 80
running
yards
around
or
for
something,
21 seconds. He ran a total of 84 yards,
Yeah.
and then just ran it in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I mean, bro, I think Kyler's special. Kyler's a gamer.
But I
Kyler
feel
makes big plays.
They need to like just unleash him. I was listening to Bill Simmons this morning, and they were talking about the Kyler thing. And he was like at the first half, I was like, I was gonna write them off as like one of the worst teams in the league. And then he's like, once they kind of let Kyler just play like, not schoolyard, but just like just
Be
do
free,
it, yeah,
yeah.
do your thing. He becomes like he has that next gear. He's kind of unstoppable.
Yeah.
But when I don't know, they looked really bad for the first 6 quarters they played this year. But
What are your
maybe
guys'
they figured
thoughts on
something out.
Tua? Are you guys bought in or?
I think he had a good week. Great week. Marlon Humphrey did get hurt in that fourth quarter, and that's where most of
damage was done. Yeah.
yeah, it's most where the damage is done. So I mean, don't get me wrong, played great. They came back, looked phenomenal, especially on the final drive that got them the win. But I need to see it done over multiple weeks, especially when the team top corner's down. They're playing prevent defense. I mean, it's just. But Tyreek and Waddle look like probably the top duo in the league as of right now.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not fully sold on Tua yet. Not yet. But he does look promising, and this offense does look very dynamic. They look explosive. I think they're going to be able to put up a lot of points. I wouldn't be surprised if they got into a shootout with Buffalo. I really
I think it's
wouldn't.
gonna be
You know,
high
especially if they're
scoring
down in Miami. I don't know if they play up in Buffalo and it's cold, and you know that
I
works for
think
those
I think
teams'
they're playing
advantages.
up in Buffalo next week.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
Is
this
it
week
in
coming
Buffalo?
up.
Yeah, I didn't look at
I
week
think it's
3
in
yet.
Buffalo, or it could be in Miami. I'm not sure, but
Yeah, no, I mean, I could see them winning 10, 11 games this year. They look really good in their defense. Their secondary is solid.
did you see the? There was a video that came out. Somebody inverted all of Tua's plays,
So
and
he's righty.
yeah, so he's righty. It looks like a normal quarterback. It's just that he throws lefty, and it just looks awkward coming out of his hand. Like, it looks like he doesn't really have control on the ball, and it's just like flying out.
That's weird though, because not weird, but Vic looked fluid when Vic
Well-
would throw. Vic threw a beautiful ball.
Yeah, Vic was just like a better. He has a better ball than most righties. He has a better
Yeah.
form than most righties. A big thing about Tua is his if you look at his legs when he throws, if you look at the all 22 version where you're basically looking from an end zone view, you really see that his legs aren't really pointed in the same direction. They're like in a V instead of just like being straight on with his target. He's like and it turns into all arm, and that's why he looks like he's just kind of like flying across his body.
Do you think that has to do with the hip injury he suffered at Alabama? Remember when he broke his hip in that
Yeah,
college playoff game?
It could. I don't remember what it like.
But I'm pretty sure he had like fucking like hip surgery or something like that.
No,
Like,
he did have hip
He
surgery,
wasn't
and that's
looking
why.
good for a while.
Yeah. No, they didn't know that if he was going to be able to play, and then he got the shoulder injury his first year. I don't know what his platform looked like in college. I would have to go back and look at that and see if it was the same. But still, your ability is supposed to get better. I mean, even though with an injury, players kind of figure it out, how to change everything. You know?
Yeah.
Tua's kind of just like, to me, like I think he's just a middle of the pack. Like he's not bad. He's not like great. But he was great on Sunday.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's also got Tyreek and Waddle, and those two guys. I mean, are they the two fastest receivers in the league?
Yeah, up there.
Close
I
to,
mean,
if
I would say
not.
like Mecole Hardman is
But
probably
it's like
up
you
there.
kind of
Hollywood
just
Brown,
have to throw a screen past
DK.
those guys a lot of the time and like let them just cook.
Yeah, but they weren't even doing much of that. It was a lot. I mean, he hit Waddle over the middle for
they
a
were.
touchdown,
I mean, those
quick
guys.
one. I mean,
They were.
they bombed it to Tyreek.
Yeah.
I agree with what you're saying.
So I mean, all right,
They're
real.
just so elite. They're wide open.
Yeah, no, but so I'm thinking, all right, so say Tua, so say we're talking middle of the pack, say he's in that, I don't know, 15 to 19 range. So
I
if
think he's a little higher than that
I
right
agree.
now.
Probably.
I think he's in the 12 to 15 range.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So I want to give you guys some names. So I mean, on the spot, I'll do a quick like, would you rather? So, would you rather Tua or Kirk Cousins?
That's tough, especially after what we just saw from Kirk last night. I'll probably just say Kirk for now because I want to see Tua do it multiple times, but Kirk for right now.
I'll go Kirk for right now.
I think I would go Tua from this point moving forward because I do see something in Tua. Tua or Daniel Jones.
Tua.
Tua.
That's an easy one.
I would go Tua. Tua or Trevor Lawrence.
As of right now, Tua.
T-Law.
I'd probably go Tua. Tua or Ryan Tannehill.
Tua.
And then Tua or Jimmy Garoppolo.
Tua.
Like, if I was having for this season,
Yeah, right now.
I would take Jimmy G over Tua. Like right now, if I wanted to win, I would take Jimmy G.
I think I would still take Tua.
I'd take Tua. I think he can make more throws, especially like if you're saying like you could just drop Jimmy G into Miami and see what he does with them. I still think on their best days, Tua's gonna have a better
I just
day.
gotta respect Jimmy. Like he was just almost in the Super Bowl again. So I just feel like
Yeah, but I just feel like Jimmy's not a gamer. Like he's never showed up in a big game. Like he literally
he won't
cost
lose you the game. He won't necessarily.
he
win
cost you
the
a
game.
Super Bowl against the Chiefs by missing that throw. And 95% of quarterbacks in the NFL make that throw. The quarterbacks that have a fucking pair of nuts on them
bro, like,
step
if that
up and
dude
make that
doesn't-
throw.
I don't want to put it
He
on
missed
one
them
play.
by like 10 yards.
But if that guy picks off that pass last year, they're in the Super Bowl.
That is true as well.
It's like
Yeah,
he's almost
Tart.
been to 2 Super Bowls. Like
Yeah, but off the strength of the 49ers defense and, their run game and their coaching.
yeah,
and,
of course.
He's just...
But at the same time, I don't think Tua has shown anything outside of that one game where that he's that much of a big time gamer. It was one.
No,
game.
I agree.
I still like Tua. I think he'll be good, but I want
That's
to
what I'm
see
saying.
a little
He's
more.
in that. He's borderline top 10 right now. Like if you're the 15th best quarterback and you're determining your team based off your quarterback play, they're a playoff team.
But
They're
you got
one
to
of the
think,
last playoff teams in.
even if you're putting him in that 12, now you're talking about Derek Carr, you're talking about Dak Prescott, you're talking about Jalen Hurts, you're talking
Well,
about...
if you're talking about this year, there's no Dak Prescott right now, so
Right, but I mean...
I think he's in that range. I mean, I think Hurts is a tier above those guys right now.
Carson Wentz?
I think he's better than Carson.
I don't know.
I think he's better than Carson.
I think they're like very even. Like I'd probably go.
If 2 is 12, Carson's probably 14, 15.
Like
it's
they're
close,
right.
but
Yeah, they're
I'd
right
definitely
neck.
take
They're
Tua.
neck and neck.
Yeah.
If I
I
was
mean...
building a team, I'd go Tua because he's younger. But
Yeah. Right, yeah, but it's tough. I mean...
Carson Wentz has been balling out too. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
they're
has.
like the top 2 guys in passing yards this year with
Yeah, I
Flacco
know.
at 3.
Right. And then lastly, to kind of recap, obviously after the first 2 weeks, I know you guys are Jets fans, but like, what do you guys think about the Giants starting 2-0, like first time in fucking I don't know how many years?
I think it's at 2013.
Wow. Yeah, almost 10 years. So, I mean, me as a Giants fan, I think their defense looks really good. I think their defense, they're just playing as a unit. They're getting after the quarterback, and that's always been, the formula for success for the Giants is their, pass rush and getting after the quarterback and, helping, giving the secondary some time to recover.
And no Tibbs and Ojulari.
Right. So
look even better when they're on the
we haven't
field.
even got to see him yet and what he's capable of, and I think he's going to be a stud. He looks.
Ojulari is already a stud.
Oh yeah, he's really good. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Thibodeau.
For sure.
But I don't know. I think the Giants. I mean, the Giants are playing the Cowboys this week, Monday Night Football. I think the Giants.
Yeah.
I think the Giants should beat them.
Oh, for sure. They should easily beat them. I mean, Cooper Rush, he's technically undefeated as a quarterback. He's 2-0 as a starter. But, I mean, that offense is just not the same. Zeke didn't look the same. One thing about the Giants, though, is I don't know what their plan is for Kenny Golladay, because no shot anybody is taking on
Looks
that
like
contract.
a disaster right now.
It's an absolute disaster.
He was dropping a lot of quotes today, huh?
Yeah, I saw that. He was. I saw them interview him like, yo, like, do you think you should be starting? He was like, yeah, I think I should be playing a lot more. And then they was like, if you don't see more playing time, what are you gonna do? He was like, well, we're going into week 3, we'll see what happens. And he just kind of like walked away. But those are two guys. Him and Kadarius Toney. I don't know why they don't implement him more. That guy is like the closest thing to like the human joystick, like they used to call like Dante Hall. Like,
it's
right.
there's
he
gotta be
moves.
stuff
He
going
has
on behind the
Tyreek
scenes.
Hill-esque movement to him.
Yeah.
Just the way he can cut and get in and out of routes and his explosiveness and his quickness, and they don't use him. He
Well,
plays
I mean-
like 20% of the snaps.
Maybe they just have to, like, Dable's running his team like he's a high school or college coach. He's like, prove it to me in practice, and you'll get reps on the field.
No, I
And
understand.
we saw the videos of Kenny Golladay in the preseason running practice routes and doing drills and stuff like that. And he was uninterested, not trying, didn't care. When you're getting paid $72 million, you need to be present and trying at your absolute best all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not high on him. I just want to see why you guys traded the 10th pick, with Chicago to go back and then go get a guy like Kadarius Toney when then you went and paid Golladay. You already had Sterling Shepard. You had Slayton. You had some receivers at the time.
Well, Slayton's gone now, right?
No, yeah, he's gone now. But when
Wait, did they just release him?
or he might be hurt. No, I believe he's not on the roster.
I thought he was going to be a stud for a little bit.
Yeah, he looked good. But, and then you don't even use this guy, and I don't know. It just, part of me, like, I'm still not a big Daniel Jones guy as a Giants fan. Like, some of his throws are just like, bro, they're like Pop Warner throws. It's like, yo, you're just staring the guy down, and he's looking at you. Against the Carolina, the ball went right through the guy's hands one time. He stared him down, saw him, and then just still continued to throw it. And it just seems like he's just praying Saquon just does something. He's just like, all right, Saquon is on the field. Like, let me just do whatever I can to get that guy the ball.
Right.
And then it looks like his favorite target is Sterling Shepard, which I think Sterling Shepard is a very good receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, if he can stay on the field.
Yeah, when he's healthy, bro, that guy's a baller. But other than those two guys, I don't even know who else Daniel Jones is throwing the ball to.
Yeah,
he threw it to Sills a few times this week.
Richie James. had a
Yeah,
couple
Richie
catches.
James looks all right, yeah.
And who's that tight end right now?
Bellinger?
Oh, right, yeah. Did he have a touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. But, hey, the Giants look good, 2-0.
Yeah,
I'm
doing
hoping
what they got to do. That's the first step of getting out of that
Drought,
bad team.
yeah.
Like you got to beat the bad teams.
Yeah,
and
I
they're
agree.
beating the bad teams.
Yeah.
So they could easily. Who do they play week 4? Because I know it's not a great opponent.
Either the Lions or the Bears.
Bro, they could easily be. I think
I
Dallas is
don't know
going
if
to
they
be
could
tough.
easily beat
They
the
could-
Lions. The
Lions
Lions
are
look
good.
No, they could easily. It could happen where they're 4-0 though.
Yeah, it's either the Lions or it could honestly. I know they play Lions, Bears, Green Bay. I know they play like 3 AFC
Oh, if it's Green Bay,
or
I don't-
and then,
they'll probably
they play Baltimore somewhere in that.
Well, it'd be
round.
the NFC North.
No, I know, but they play like 3 teams in the AFC North, and then they play. I know they play Baltimore October 16th.
Okay.
'Cause I'm trying to go to that game. I want to go see Lamar in person.
Right, yeah, it'd be dope.
But I know, but there is a. In a world where they could start 4-1, 5-1.
I think this
6,
Dallas
5
game
and
is
2.
actually going to be tough for them. That Dallas defense looked good last week.
They did.
It's always going to be tough. Divisional games are always going to be tough,
Yeah.
and Dallas always plays the Giants.
Cooper Rush is
the
kind of like
best.
he's just not really. It's kind of like we were talking about Jimmy G. I mean,
Yeah.
he's not as good as Jimmy G, but He's not really going to lose you the game for the most
he gets
part,
the job
but they're
done.
not going to let him really try and win the game for him.
I mean, bro, the guy outdueled fucking Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
And I get it. Joe Burrow doesn't have much help on that offensive line. He's on pace to get
thought they
sacked
should have.
They
111
did
times.
improve it. I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
He's on pace to get sacked 111 times.
Yeah. Jets play him this week. That'll be a great wake-up game for the defensive line. They haven't looked good the last couple weeks. They're getting no pressure whatsoever on the quarterback for the Jets.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets pop the fucking Bengals.
I would hope so. I mean, we won last year. Mike White was at quarterback, and now that Carl Lawson is having kind of his revenge game against them. He didn't have the opportunity last time.
When does Zach Wilson come back?
Week 4, he said. He did 7-on-7s today. So,
I'm cool with Joe Flacco this week.
Yeah, for this week for sure. I think he needs to be.
back.
I think he needs to be back week 4.
Steelers, right?
Yeah.
That defense.
That's what they said. That's what Ian Rappaport said. He said he's in 7-on-7s. They're expecting him to be back for Steelers week.
I don't like him coming back against the Steelers.
I do.
Although,
with
wait,
J.J. Watt on.
isn't Watt out for the
T.J.
year?
Watt.
Is he out for the year?
I mean, he has a torn pec. He got a second opinion. They're going to see how he recovers. He's not going to do surgery.
Opinion.
He's just going to try and rehab it and see what happens. But I mean, that's a tough thing to go through.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You saw who just retired today. Speaking of the Steelers, Joe Hayden.
Really?
He signed a 1-day contract with the Browns.
To
retire as a
ride.
Brown.
Wow. Joe Hayden was good.
Right,
Joe Hayden
was
was really
for a
good.
while. Should we do
Yeah, we'll jump
week 3
in.
predictions?
Yeah, we could do that right now. Yeah, let's do it.
Right?
I'll pull up the schedule. Oh, sorry,
You're
Sam. Let's do our week 3 predictions. I know a few of the games, but I haven't really looked at them. I haven't given them much thought. All right, so we'll jump into it right now. So far, obviously, we've been keeping our record. So right now, I had a rough week 1. So I'm 15, 16, and 1. And then you two, and Cha are all 20, 11, and 1.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's pretty crazy. And you guys all picked different games, but you
Yeah.
all ended up the same. So I gotta have a strong week this week and to try to claw back. All right. So tomorrow night, obviously, this is Wednesday. So tomorrow night, Steelers, Browns.
I don't know if I think Clowney's out. I think I'll still go Browns.
I'm gonna go Browns.
I'm gonna go the Steelers. Bills, Dolphins.
That's gonna be game of the week, man. I'll probably go Bills. I don't think that Tua has the same kind of week.
Going Bills.
Bills. Eagles, Commanders.
Eagles.
Eagles.
Eagles. Chiefs, Colts.
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Lions, Vikings.
That's another good one. I want to go Lions, but I feel like the Vikings are gonna come back, and I might be wrong about this, but a stat that I heard is that Dalvin Cook hasn't played at Ford Field in like 4 years.
Wow.
He's been hurt for every game, so I'll take the Vikings.
I am going to go Lions.
I'm going to go Vikings. Bengals, Jets.
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 I know I just said I think the Jets could pop them, but I'm going to go Bengals. The Bengals are going to get their first win this week. The Raiders, Titans.
Raiders.
Raiders.
Raiders. Saints, Panthers.
Oh, Saints.
Saints.
Saints. Ravens, Patriots.
Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens. Texans, Bears.
Ooh.
I'll take the Texans.
I'll go with the Bears.
I'll go with the Bears. Jaguars, Chargers.
Chargers.
If Herbert plays, Chargers.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be tough. Yeah. So
I mean, if he doesn't
If it's
play, I
Chase
think
Daniels-
we could just chalk that one. We don't have to count that one.
yeah. Well, I mean, I guess if he's not playing, I'm assuming we're all switching to the
The
Jags.
Jaguars, yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, I'll go Jaguars if he's not.
Yeah.
Rams, Cardinals.
Rams, Cardinals. I'll take the Rams.
Rams.
I'll go with the Rams as well. Packers, Bucks.
Bucks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Bucks. What am I saying? Bucks.
I'll go Packers.
I'm going to go with the Bucks. Falcons, Seahawks.
Falcons.
I'll go Seahawks.
Wait, who's home?
Ride with Gino.
Seattle.
Oh, never mind. I'll take the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm going Seahawks.
Back-to-back weeks on the West Coast. That's tough.
Yeah. 49ers, Broncos.
49ers.
Sunday Night Football.
Sunday Night Football, 49ers, Broncos. I'll take the Niners.
I'm going 49ers.
I'm going Niners. And then Monday Night Football, Cowboys, Giants.
Giants.
I'm going to go Cowboys.
I'm going to go Giants. Should be a fun week.
It's a lot of good. There's a few games that I have like no interest in watching. Like I really don't want to watch. Like that Rams Cardinals game. It just seems not.
I think the
fun
Rams
to
Cardinals
watch.
game is a really good one. I think one that I don't
like
care about
watching
is like
either of those teams that much. Like outside of
Really?
watching Cooper Cup, I don't like watching the Rams.
I think that's gonna be a really good game. It
that's
might be a
good
shootout.
one. Yeah, one that I'd have no interest in is obviously the Seahawk Atlanta game, but also the Saints
Saints Panthers.
Who the Patriots playing?
I'm interested.
Ravens.
I mean, that's
I'm
a
really
watch
excited to watch the fucking Giants game. Honestly.
Yeah, I
think it's gonna be a good game.
I think the
Texans,
Lions
Bears.
Vikings is gonna be a shootout.
Lions Vikings is gonna.
I'm
be
gonna
very
take that.
good.
What's the over in that's probably gonna be like 60.
Yeah, the over's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, it's gonna be retarded.
Yeah, the Texans Bears game, it could low-key be a very good game. But
Right,
it's still
but just
be like
for what it
it's gonna
is.
be like 9
Yeah.
to like 14.
But like, yeah,
Or
especially
it could
if
be
they,
a shoot. It could be either way. It's either gonna be like a
I mean,
bunch
it could
of
only
field
be a
goals.
shootout if they decide to fucking throw the ball. If
Yeah.
they let Justin Fields actually throw a football.
So wait, Packers are playing
The Bucks in Tampa.
Bucks. Who are the Commanders playing?
Commanders are playing the Eagles,
Who are the Patriots playing?
the Ravens.
And who are the Panthers playing?
The Saints.
I forgot to write down the matchups in my stardom sit-em.
And now, I know we have a few lists, rankings that we want to do. Switch it up a little bit. Obviously, we've been doing like a bunch of regular, skill positions. So this would be fun to like change it up and hear some different names. Because honestly, I have no idea. Like, I'm sure we'll have a few of the same names, but I'm sure our lists are going to be a little different than usual.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one we'll do is top 5 kick returner and punt returners of all time. So Sam, give us yours.
Number 1, I think should be everybody's, and it's Devin Hester. Number 2, I got Dion. Number 3, Josh Cribbs. 4 is the original human joystick, Dante Hall. Number 5, I got Desmond Howard.
Tough. Who you got, Ross?
So my top 5 kickers.
Adam Vinatieri. Nick Folk.
no.
Jay Feely.
David Akers.
Sebastian Janikowski. He was a punter.
No, he's a kicker.
Was he?
Janikowski, yeah, number 11 for the
Raiders. He was a
leg.
kicker? Oh, the
Huge
lefty.
leg.
Right.
He was the one that
set
set the
the
original
punter was
record.
Shane Leckler. That's what I'm
Yes,
thinking
yes.
of.
I'm trying to think of how I was like, do I read it as top 5 kick/punt returners?
I said kick returners and punt returners.
Okay. All right.
You could just say returners.
Yeah.
My top 5 kick and punt returners of all time. I got Cordero Patterson at 5, Dante Hall at 4, Josh Cribbs 3, Brian Mitchell 2, Devin Hester 1, and then my honorable mentions are Darren Sproles and Mel Gray.
No Deion Sanders?
I was looking at the stats, bro. He didn't do it enough. in
Yeah,
my
he
opinion.
didn't. But I feel like you just has to be
I
on the
had
list.
him on my list.
My honorable mention was Darren Sproles. I was thinking about putting him in over Desmond Howard. But
I had him on my list, and then I was looking at the stats where it was like all like how many they've like all like, and I was like, he just like.
Yeah, he didn't have
I
the
don't
volume.
think
He didn't
he's
have
had
the volume.
for me to like. As far as if we're just going talent, sure, but it's like, but also
Because he
Devin
was the-
Hester kind of didn't have the volume either. Like,
Yeah.
like, but
well,
it's just
well,
hard.
that's because he mainly got the ball kicked away from him. But another thing is, out of all the people that we named, really other than Darren Sproles, and to a certain extent Brian Mitchell, he's the only one that played an actual position. He wasn't.
Who?
Dion wasn't a specialized return guy.
like these guys
Yeah,
are like
Darren
He's
that's
Sproles,
what
mainly-
they
Brian
did.
Mitchell, Yeah.
Other than Darren Sproles and Brian Mitchell, Darren Sproles was more of a third down
I
back.
didn't even realize how good
And Brian
Cordero
Mitchell-
was.
What?
Cordero Patterson, bro, he had OD stats.
Oh, yeah, when he was with the Vikings, I was thinking about another Viking. I was thinking about putting Percy Harvin.
Percy Harvin.
yeah, he was
and-
great too.
Percy
I
Harvin
was
really
also
good.
thinking, bro. I
Brad Smith.
did that on the fly there, Bro, we should start doing our list starting
backwards. Right, yeah. That's what I was going to say. You changed it because a lot of people were like, yo, who does list 1 to 10?
Yeah.
And when he said Cordell, I was like, come
no.
on. I was like, bro, this guy's trying to go viral. I was like, bro,
so I'll flip it around. I'll read it off.
Yeah. Another guy, Terrence McGee. They used to play for the Bills. He was the corner.
Terrence McGee?
Yeah, he was tough. He was like number 24. Number 24. He played for the Bills when they had the Navy uniforms. The Navy with the other blue, with the royal blue and the red.
Yeah, when Marshawn was there.
Yeah. He was even probably before that. I want to say he played when Fred Jackson was there, and
Fred Jackson
played with. Did he play with Marshawn? But Fred Jackson was there a little bit before Marshawn.
Yeah, like two years, I think.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. So Terrence McGee played in that mid 2000s era, but he was really good. All right, so I'll go backwards as well.
That's been funny to me. Right when I said it, I was like, they definitely think I'm saying Cordell.
Yeah, I was like, no. All right, so my top 5 kick returner / punt returners of all time. At number 5, I have Deion Sanders. Number 4, I have Dante Hall. Number 3, I have Brian Mitchell. Number 2, I have Josh Cribbs, and number 1, of course, I have Devin Hester. But yeah, I think people don't really give those guys their flowers or the credit they deserve. Bro, being a kick returner and a punt returner is probably one of the hardest things to do in football, especially punt returner. Yeah. Having 10 guys run at you at full speed while you're trying to track the ball, and then at the last minute decide if you're going to call fair catch, and then you still have to catch it. Obviously, we saw this past week a few guys drop some fucking punts and fumble at the
Not as easy as it looks. It's easy if you just want to call a fair catch every time.
No, exactly.
That other aspect of it, yeah.
And then just being a kick returner, bro, setting your team up for or scoring a game-changing touchdown, or setting your team up for great field position, bro, that's game-changing plays that a lot of people just they overlook, or people don't even watch the kickoff. And Devin Hester, bro, first play of the fucking Super Bowl.
You could not miss Devin Hester ever. Another one that we didn't bring up was Deshaun.
Sean Jackson was really good punt returner. Yeah. That punt return still gives me nightmares. I'll tell a quick story. I remember I was watching this at my friend's house. We're watching the Giants game. Giants are steamrolling them by 25 or something like that. So I'm like, yo, we went outside to go play football or whatever. I'm like, yo, game's over. So we get done. We go back inside. And the TV's still on. And all I see is the catch of the punt return. And I'm looking at the score, and I'm still kind of trying to figure out wait, whoa, what happened? And I just see this motherfucker take the shit all the way back, break 3 tackles, and the Giants fucking lose. And I'm like, no way that they came back. And then I see the highlights of Mike Vick going crazy, and who else was there? Brian Westbrook, I believe.
I don't know if he was still part of the team, but he may have been. But I know Jason Avant, Jeremy Maclin.
Yeah, bro. I mean, the Eagles, they were pretty loaded then, and bro, I just remember that play, and I'll never forget that. I'll remember that for the rest of my life when Deshaun Jackson brought that fucking punt back.
Bro, yeah, Devin Hester, he was just so fun to watch. He was fun to use in Madden, too.
Yeah, he was 99. He was the first 100 speed.
Yeah.
Remember when they started giving guys 100 ratings? He was the first guy that ever had 100 speed.
Yeah.
I wish they used him as a receiver. I don't know why.
I used him as a receiver.
Well, of course, in Madden I did.
I remember I had a random ass, it was a Dolphins franchise or whatever, dynasty. And I threw it was probably Peyton Manning or something. I threw a quarterback, and I had Devin Hester in every play. I would just have him run a Hail Mary, and I would just throw it every time he would catch it.
Yeah, bro, he was so good.
He would just outrun the computer.
And he was good. He was a good receiver in college. He went to Miami, right?
He went to Miami, right? Yeah, he was solid. But he just again he didn't have the volume.
Yeah, and I mean especially he played with the Bears.
Right, yeah, fucking Rex Grossman. I mean, towards the end, it was
Jay Cutler, maybe?
Kyle Orton first.
Was Jay Cutler there?
Jay Cutler was there for a little bit. He didn't come until 2012. And then by then, he started bouncing around, Devin, but...
Yeah. All right, we'll jump into our next list, which is top 10 tight ends of all time. So I'll start. My honorable mention for this list as a Giants fan is Jeremy Shockey. Okay, so at 10, I have Vernon Davis. At 9, I have Dallas Clark. At 8, I have Greg Olsen. At 7, I have Kellen Winslow Sr. At 6, I have Jason Witten. At 5, I have Shannon Sharp. 4, I have Travis Kelce. 3, I have Antonio Gates. 2, I have Tony Gonzalez, and at number 1, I have Gronkowski.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solid. Number 10, I got Dallas Clark. Number 9, I got Ozzie Newsome. Number 8, Vernon Davis. Number 7, Travis Kelce. I think it's still a little early for him. Number 6, Kellen Winslow Sr. Number 5, I got Shea Sharp. 4 is Witten. 3, Antonio Gates. 2, Gronk. Number 1, I got Gonzalez still.
Tony Gonzalez, yeah. Yeah, obviously, I mean, I'm projecting a little bit with Travis Kelce, but, I mean, I just think raw talent-wise, like, I arguably, I mean, like, talented, he might be the most talented tight end of all time. Talented.
I don't know. Bro, Tony was something else too. Like he's probably faster and he could probably run more routes, but just one-on-one, nobody's stopping Tony. You know, I mean, especially in the red zone. And a person I was thinking about putting at 10 was Jimmy Graham.
Bro, I mean, there was a lot of guys on the end of my list. I had Jimmy Graham, Heath Miller, Todd Heap.
Right. Mike Ditka, I was thinking about putting on.
Yeah,
too.
but
just as like, because he was really the first one.
First tight end, yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's just so hard when you make these lists. Like, I have some older guys, so I was just like, I don't know, like.
That's why I definitely put Kellen Winslow Sr. He scored he had 1,000 yards back in the 80s or 70s, 80s, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So my top 10 tight ends of all time. So I have, as an honorable mention, I have Dallas Clark. Number 10, I have John Mackey. 9, Mike Ditka. 8, Ozzie Newsome. 7, Jason Witten. 6, Kellen Winslow Sr. 5, Shannon Sharp. 4, Gronk. 3, Antonio Gates. 2, Travis Kelce. And then I have Tony Gonzalez at 1.
Gronk at 4?
Bro, I wanted to put Kelce up there. I think, like, if you look at it, like, based on, like, Pro Bowls numbers, like, he's pretty much caught Gronk in all of those. He has the ring.
How many rings does Gronk have, though?
And I'm saying, like, he just has, like, the ring. I feel like
Bucks.
Yeah.
He got started with the Bucks.
Yeah.
Right.
But he has the ring now, so it's like, you can't be like, well, he's never won a Super Bowl.
But don't they have the most fucking passing receiving yards in playoff history, him and Brady?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
actually,
but-
no. I think it's now it's Edelman. I think Edelman passed him.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
Kelce,
No, I thought
think Kelce's
Gronk caught him with the Bucks. I thought he did.
Maybe.
I don't know,
No,
bro.
I think they have the most touchdowns.
Oh, they have the most touchdowns.
Most
together,
touchdowns, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah. Even though does Edelman have more than Jerry Rice? I think he does.
Yeah.
Maybe. We'll
Just
see,
crazy.
though. I think that
Right.
I'm projecting, like you said, on Kelce. I just think he's been so good for so long now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he
he's
also
not
didn't have
showing
Vernon
any
Davis.
signs of slowing down.
Yeah,
What?
no Vernon Davis.
No Vernon Davis.
Just, bro, these lists are so hard to make.
Yeah.
They are.
Did you have Greg Olson?
No, he was another one that I was thinking about putting on. I just wanted to add.
I saw, you know
The
what?
older guys.
I found this website that had, like, their stats, their Pro Bowls, everything. And I tried to, like, do a balance, like, of some of those other guys and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
The end of Greg Olson's career was rough, just with all the concussions and everything, and he never really got a chance to finish it out. And he also doesn't have a ring, so
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, when you're a tight end, you can't really play the... Tony Gonzalez doesn't have a ring.
No. No.
It's impossible to really play that.
no. But his numbers are far and away from
it's
everybody
actually
else.
crazy.
Yeah. And then the last list we were gonna do. Well, me and Sam are gonna do it. Riley's gonna sit this one out.
I'm gonna watch you guys.
Is the best pass rushers of all time. So, you know, edge rushers, pass rusher, whatever. It could be linebacker, could be defensive end, D tackle, whatever it may be. You want to go first?
Yeah. So I had 2 honorable mentions. One of them, Joe Klecko with the Jets, and then number 2 was I didn't write it down. I forgot who I was gonna say. Shit. Whatever. So number 10, I got Michael Strahan.
No, wait, I'm sorry. Number 10?
Number 10, I got Michael
The
Strahan.
guy who has the sack record, number 10.
Michael Strahan is number 10. Next.
I hate this list already.
Next.
Oh, my
I got Aaron Donald at 9. Number 8, I got Jared Allen. Number 7, J.J. Watt. Number 6, Derek Thomas. Number 5, Von Miller. Number 4, DeMarcus Ware. 3 is Bruce Smith. LT at 2, Reggie White at 1.
I just hate the Michael 10. Michael, that's crazy. And Aaron Donald as a defensive player, I think, but like as a pass rusher, I mean, how many sacks does he get a year? No more than 12. He hasn't had more than 12. He's not a pass rusher. I think the guy's obviously, arguably, him and LT are probably the two best defensive players of all time, but I wouldn't consider him a pass rusher.
I think he's.
I don't think he's ever had more than 13 sacks.
My only thing is
he also has 3 defensive player of the years.
But we're doing pass rushers,
and he rushes the passer.
But wouldn't you consider being like an elite pass rusher, getting to the quarterback and getting a sack? I mean, if we count QB knockdowns and stuff like that, sure, if you want to get like real analytical, but I don't know. Michael Strahan, the guy who has the all-time sack record at 10, is kind of insane to me.
When was the last time J.J. Watt has he ever played a full season?
Yeah, no, he had a few.
In the beginning of his career.
Yeah, with Houston.
He got lucky on that last sack too.
Who?
Strahan?
What, it was like a shoestring, right? Or
not
he
even
fell into him or something like that?
No. Favre just dropped to the floor and Strahan touched his back.
Yeah. Good looks, Favre.
Yeah, exactly.
Good looks, Favre.
Good looks, Brett.
All right, Aaron Donald.
Pull up Aaron Donald sacks. What is he, fucking 100th all time?
Is 40th all time at 129 as a D tackle.
What was his most sacks in a year? I need to pull. That's what I need to see.
Most sacks in a year, 20.
20 and a half.
Yeah.
Other than that, no more than 14. Okay. But
it's the same as J.J. Watt's.
For him to be
stats right now.
For him to be higher,
and to do that as a D tackle is fucking nuts.
I mean,
especially because he's getting double teamed most of the time.
Bro, and Strahan wasn't.
Strahan was, but the thing is, to be double teamed on the outside where you could just run around most of the time, Aaron Donald is literally splitting between 2 different guys and pushing them back and still getting the sack.
Strahan, 14, 15, 22 and a half, 18 and a half. He had some huge years. He just couldn't stay healthy all the time.
Von Miller's most is 18 and a half.
What's his the 3 most that he's had?
22 and a half, 18 and a half, and 15.
Okay. So, and he played how many seasons?
He played from 93 to 07, so 14.
Oh, and Aaron Donald hasn't even been there 10 years.
Right.
So he's still got a long way to go. And his top year is 20.
He has
13. 12.
He also has Strahan has a player of the year. Strahan has what? 1 Super Bowl or 2? 1, I believe.
Just the one.
Yeah, just the one.
Aaron Donald has 1.
And he was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-time All-Pro.
Oh, all right. Well, I think Aaron Donald's been to the Pro Bowl every single year.
Or 4-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowl, 1-time Super Bowl champ, 2001 Defensive Player of the Year.
How many Pro Bowls?
7.
Okay, Aaron Donald already beat him. How many All-Pros?
4.
7. How many Super Bowls?
1.
Tied. How many Defensive Player of the Years?
1.
Donald beat him. Rookie of the Year defensive?
I mean, I'm not saying that Aaron Donald isn't a better overall defensive player. We're talking pass rusher.
I understand.
Like strictly pass rusher, the guy who rushes the quarterback better. I believe Strahan does that. I believe Strahan did that better than Donald does. Who do I believe is a better defensive player? Aaron Donald, 100%. I agree with that 100%. So that's what I mean. I'm just talking of who's a better, edge rusher. I personally think Strahan is. I mean, obviously I watched him as a Giants fan. I think Donald clogs the holes and, gets a lot of QB rushes, and he does have to fight through a lot of double teams, so that does limit him of getting sacks. But
all right, let's hear your list.
Yeah, if we're talking edge rusher, I mean, I believe Strahan.
Just one more time. All right, so he has 42 more sacks than Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's played 8 years. And how many years did he play? So another 6 years.
Strahan also played with fucking 3 other guys that were elite. Or 2 other guys that were elite.
That makes it even easier for him to get a...
or even harder because the other guys are getting to him. The years that he played with OC, how many sacks did OC have? OC probably had 17 when he had 18.
I understand that that's a possibility, but my point is that's less of an opportunity for him to get double teamed. Plus, he played both sides. Aaron Donald just plays in the center. He played defensive end, I think, 1 year.
Yeah, I mean, they move him around a little bit,
And Aaron Donald plays dead center of the defensive line 70% of the time.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, it's close, but...
I think by the end of it, assuming Aaron Donald decides to play because he almost retired.
Right, yeah, after this year. After, 8 years?
Yeah, if he plays another, what is that, 6 years? Yeah. And he's right there next to... Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's right there next to Strahan. So, obviously, it's projecting a little bit at the same time.
I agree.
It's not like... I mean, it was 10-9. Like, it's right there.
Yeah. All right. So, my best pass rushers of all time. My honorable mention, honestly, is J.J. Watt.
Wow.
So, at number 10, I have John Abraham. Come on. You guys should like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Number 9, I have Dwight Freeney. Number 8, I have DeMarcus Ware. Number 7, I have Jared Allen. Number 6, I have Jason Taylor. Number 5, I have Julius Peppers. Number 4, I have Michael Strahan. Number 3, I have Bruce Smith. Number 2, I have Reggie White. And then number 1, I have Lawrence Taylor. I have Lawrence Taylor at 1 just because obviously he played the linebacker position, so it is a little harder for him to get to the quarterback. Yeah. But, I mean, if you watch, I mean, I went back and watched just because I wanted to see, like, how great these guys were. And, I mean, bro, the shit Lawrence Taylor was doing was fucking... you haven't seen it before, and I don't know if we will ever see it again.
No. And more often than not, he really was rushing the passer. Like, he was positionless, so I would just call him... He was an edge. Yeah. More than he was a linebacker.
Before it even was, like, a thing. Like, It wasn't even called that back then.
Right.
I mean, bro, he fucking... Who was the quarterback that he broke his back? Joe Theismann?
Well, yeah, he broke his leg.
Oh, broke his leg. Yeah. That's what it was. But yeah, I mean, there was a few guys, but yeah, it was just hard for me to put J.J. Watt just because I know his prime was pretty damn elite.
It was like 5 years. I was just looking at his stats.
Yeah, it was just hard for me to put him over guys like John Abraham, Dwight Freeney, DeMarcus Ware. I even wanted to put Robert Mathis on this list. But, I mean, if I had to pick between Dwight Freeney and Robert Mathis, I'm going Dwight Freeney. Even another guy, obviously, if we're talking like elite primes, bro, Sean Merriman. Sean Merriman was a savage.
Well, Sean Merriman was also more of a linebacker than he was a pass rusher.
Yeah, no. But, you know, but like you didn't have guys like Julius Peppers or Jason Taylor?
I think Julius Peppers, like his production, he was just a longevity kind of guy. Yeah. His production fell off so much after leaving Carolina. Like, he was still putting up numbers.
But I feel like he picked it up with the Bears like a little bit. He had a few good seasons with the Bears.
He had a few good seasons, but my point is that he wasn't a game wrecker. He wasn't clearly the best defensive player on the team. Like, they had so many pieces around him. I mean, Urlacher was there for a bit. Lance Briggs was still there. Then they had Tillman and who was the other?
They had Lance Briggs, Tillman. They had
Tim Jennings.
Yeah,
like, they just had a wild squad around him.
No, I agree.
And then even more so when he was with the Packers, like his production just dipped.
Yeah, I just feel like his prime in Carolina was like elite for the years that it was. Like elite, like arguably the best in the NFL.
But that's my point. Like his prime was so similar to J.J. Watt. His prime was so quick that I really can't consider him being. Aaron Donald's done it longer and better. Jared Allen, longer and better. J.J. Watt, kind of a similar thing to him. Derek Thomas was one of the best ones in the early 2000s. I mean, and then you get into the top 5 with Miller, Ware, Smith, LT.
Yeah.
Then you get to all the top guys.
All these lists get me excited for basketball season, man. Think about all the lists that we could do for basketball season,
no, I mean, bro, we're going to do basketball soon.
Top backcourts, obviously, the 1 through 5. Best duos in the East, best duos in the West, best three-point shooters.
Yeah, no, bro. I mean, I'm excited for basketball season.
It's creeping up, bro. It's really creeping up. I think I think next episode we should do some basketball.
No, we could. It's just so hard because it's just football every week, and like we're just getting flooded with football, and like, I mean, that's all I'm paying attention to right now. That's all I really care about right now is football.
I think it's like let's say for the next week's app or whatever, like. We could just go through. We could do both in one. We could recap, week 3, and then it's like, oh, let's talk a little bit,
Yeah.
Instead of doing these
basketball's
lists,
the first games that are on.
October 18th. I looked last night.
Oh, I was just looking at preseason. So even less. Yeah, but that's my point. There's even less of a reason to talk about it.
Preseason is so relevant in basketball.
Well, preseason is relevant in every sport, to be honest with you. It's okay for the NFL just because it gets
the Knicks
people
went
up to
undefeated
speed.
in preseason last year.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't pay attention.
I don't
to
think,
it.
but like the regular season starts in less than a month.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like less than a month. Like
nothing.
It's hard to project anything without knowing any information.
Yeah, but that's what we do with every sport. We just project that we're wrong, and then we fucking get roasted in our clip, and then we make a new clip. You know, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I just wish people would read the fucking big,
Nobody reads,
the big
bro.
letters in colorful fucking font that we take time to type out so people understand what the fuck we're talking about.
And then even in the caption on the bottom, if like you like to focus on small letters, it's there at the fucking
there
bottom.
too. And it's like, yo, we're talking 2000s of present day. And the guy's like, have you ever heard of fucking Barry Sanders? And it's like, yeah, I did, but he only played to 1998. You fucking idiot. I'm just so sick of it, bro. Like, I literally just, it's like every time I refresh my phone, I open up TikTok and I just see a fucking stupid ass comment. And it's like, thank you guys because you're helping us fucking in the algorithm. But it's like, you guys are fucking idiots.
Makes me fucking laugh. I think it's hilarious.
We got for the first time today. I haven't seen this one yet on our podcast. Like, not everyone needs a podcast.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That's like the new thing going around on TikTok.
I commented this. I was like, you should start one. I gave him that emoji and I was like, you should start one.
Bro, there's this one podcast, bro. Oh my. There's like 3 of them that just live on my For You page, and that. They're cringy podcast. One of them is like, I gotta say, it's really bad. But like some of all of them either have the comments like, not everyone needs a podcast, y'all just saying things. And there's one that's like actually like the worst quality podcast. And all the comments are like, this is definitely one of the podcasts in history.
I think I saw the one that you were talking about. Like it's the same guy. He's talking to himself.
Oh, and he's just like, he's like, yo, bro, like, I just been thinking, like that. Bro, I sent that to Jake.
That was a fucking, like, a meme. I saw that.
That shit was fucking funny.
I sent that to Jake. I was like, yo, low-key, I feel like this is a shot at us. For the journey, I was like, and Jake was like, Jake was just laughing. I was like, bro, it's hysterical.
It's funny. Like, you just gotta fucking laugh at it. Like,
right? Like, if people like to talk about it, let them talk about it. If people like to listen, let them listen.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah, no, I know. None of us really fucking care what any of them say.
The thing is, it's like, when someone says, like, one of the comments was that had me a week one time was like, just a bunch of no shit. But, like, every single person who has a podcast or is on a show, they started as just a regular person who no one knew, like, besides their friends and family.
I appreciate, like, the people that, like, try to debate and, like, you know, like, they try to give their 2 cents, but, like, the people are like, bro, you're a fucking idiot, you're wrong, bro, like, this has to, it's like, bro, like, shut up, like, it's a list, and, like, that's why, I don't know how many times I've commented, okay, if you believe this guy should be on the list, who are you taking off of my list? And they never comment again.
Well, they also never answer when you ask for their list.
Yeah, because it's like, it's so easy to say, well, yeah, what about Brian Westbrook? What about Priest Holmes? What about, Marshall Faulk? And it's like,
what about it? Make a fucking argument for them then.
And I'm like, okay, I get that, but who are you taking off my list?
Right.
Are you taking off Derrick Henry? Are you taking off Chris Johnson? Are you taking off LaShawn McCoy?
Right.
A lot of people didn't like Frank Gore. It's like, bro, the guy's 3rd all time in rushing. The guy belongs on the fucking list.
I messed up so badly. I was like late to our the last podcast that we did. I forgot to put Julio on. I just completely forgot to put him on my list. I was like, where's Julio?
What was the list for that one?
I commented
top 10 wide receivers
2000s to present.
I commented back. I was like, I forgot. Like,
to be honest, that's the same exact thing that happened to me with David Robinson. But then I was like, I don't want to change it in the middle of saying it, so I'm just gonna fucking leave it as an honorable mention. Obviously, he's one of the best lefties of all time.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna fucking just bullshit because I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I didn't put guys like Curtis Martin because most of his work was done in the 90s. Marshall Faulk only had 2,000-yard years in the 2000s, which was 2001. After that, he didn't run for 1,000 yards. So I believe guys like Derrick Henry and Chris Johnson and LaShawn McCoy should be on that list because they put in more work in the 2000s.
Jamal Charles.
A lot of people.
All those
I didn't put Jamal Charles.
Oh, you didn't?
Yeah, because he only had like a 3-year prime. And there was guys like Sean Alexander, and a lot of people's comments was like, well, Sean Alexander had, the best offensive line of all time. I'm like, is that his fault? So what? His stats shouldn't count because he had a good O-line.
Yeah, right. So
and
Emmitt Smith isn't the all-time leading rusher.
Right, like who literally played for the best O-line of all time.
Exactly.
If you really want to get down to it, most things that you want to debate in sports, you can nitpick like that.
Oh, of course.
And
But then,
it's just like,
but
yo,
then we
like-
can talk about running backs that had shit offensive lines, and we'd be like, well, he is the best all time, but he had a bad O-line, so
Exactly. Like
Everything has
nobody's
an
gonna
asterisk next to it until
yeah.
It's like
It's
nobody
just-
cares.
It's like, bro, to me, the numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, like, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at it's also an eye test. It's like, yeah, maybe LaShawn McCoy statistically wasn't the best, but it's like, bro, if you watch that guy play, like, he was the closest thing to fucking like almost Barry Sanders that we've seen as a running back, that a guy that ran like that.
It's just, but it's like nobody, like people will make the excuse now for quarterbacks. It's like no one talks about the Bengals line and Joe Mixon. It's like if Joe Mixon had a good offensive line,
Oh, he
he'd
got
be
it
averaging
running.
130 yards a game.
They're supposed to have a good O-line right now. I don't know what the fuck is going
That line's
on.
horrible. It's horrible, but it's like
You know what good segment I just thought of, like as you were saying, like, oh, LaShawn McCoy reminds me of Barry Sanders. Just do that. Who does this guy remind you
like
of?
that they do in the
comparison.
NBA draft every
Did you guys?
every year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you
Patrick
guys see?
Perkins always gets
Yeah.
cut for his comparisons.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the I Am Athlete clip? And they have what's his name, Mikey Williams
I saw
on.
he wants to be a billionaire or something.
Yeah, whatever it is. But so they have Mikey Williams on, and then
Oh, I know exactly what you're fucking
they,
talking
so
about.
they were asking so
LaShawn McCoy's like,
LaShawn
who
McCoy's-
compared you
Yeah.
to Deontay? He's talking to Pac-Man Jones. Oh, my
That
God.
shit was because like he said it. He was like, yeah, they compared me to Barry Sanders. Brandon Marshall was like, yeah, they compared me to T.O. And then they was like, Pac-Man, who they compare you to? Because like we never really heard. And he was like, Dion. And then they went to go proceed to Mikey. And then LaShawn McCoy was like, wait, hold on.
Okay, so my stardom sitting for week 3 of fantasy is for running backs. I got start Joe Mixon. Pretty obvious, but he had a bad week last week playing the Jets. Our Jets. I think that it's going to be a close game, but you know Nick Chubb had 3 running touchdowns last week against the Jets. I think he has a good week. My sit is Antonio Gibson. Playing the Eagles, that defense has looked crazy, so I would sit him. My start for wide receiver is Nelson Aguilar. He had I think 6 targets last week, over 100 yards, touchdown. Mac Jones seems to really like him and Jacoby Myers, so I think he's gonna have a good week. Ravens defense, you know, they're a little banged up. They got lit up last week by Tua, so I think he'll have a good game. And then my sit is DJ Moore. They're playing the Saints. Baker doesn't look good. That offense looks horrible. And the Saints defense, you know, we saw what they did to the Bucs last week, so that's my sit.
Yeah, my stardom sitting for the week. So start, I have James Robinson. I feel like he's clearly earned that starting role over Travis Etienne, and I mean, to me, I still question them drafting Etienne because James Robinson never showed any sign of like not being a 3-down back and being like a lead running back in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sit-em running back for the week is Rashad Penny. He did not look great last week, and they are playing the Falcons. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think a lot of the games the Falcons play are going to be pretty high scoring. And I don't know if Rashad Penny can handle that workload. I think last year he kind of got hot towards the end with a bad Seattle team, and I don't think he's going to be, you know, that guy moving forward. I think Kenneth Walker is going to get a lot more touches. We saw him used last week, but I think he's, you know, crawling back from that injury. And then my stardom receiver is Drake London. I'm 100% bought in on Drake London.
In our league
I think
next
this guy is going to be the next, you know, elite receiver. He could put up, you know, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, rookie numbers, Jalen Waddle, you name it. Like, I think he's the next, you know, next guy up. And then my sit-em is Darnell Mooney. I know a lot of people drafted him in the 3rd and 4th round, and until Justin Fields shows that he can throw the ball efficiently and the Bears give him the chance to throw the ball, I mean, this guy has, I don't know, 2 catches in 2 weeks or something like that.
yeah.
You know, he's probably lost a lot of people weeks. You know, people are starting him as their wide receiver 1 or 2, or even the people that went running back in the first 2 rounds. For some teams, that's their wide receiver 1.
Yeah, for sure. For me, my start at wide receiver is going to be Tyler Lockett. Back-to-back weeks, I mean, there's been some pretty high-scoring games done on top of the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, week 1, Mike Thomas, 2 touchdowns. And even Jarvis Landry had a big week with over 100 yards. So he's my start. And then for my sit at wide receiver, I got Christian Kirk. He's been on a high the last 2 games. He looks great. Don't get me wrong, but that Chargers defense, I feel like, is going to cause a lot of problems for Jacksonville, and I think that this is the week where they kind of come back down to earth. My start at running back, I had basically the entire Browns backfield. I think they're going to destroy the Steelers on Thursday Night Football. If you have Hunt, start him. If you have Chubb, start him. They're both going to get theirs. My sit at running back, I was also going to do Antonio Gibson. But another one that I was thinking of was I can't remember who. Oh, Darrell Williams. James Conner's been questionable this week with an injury that he sustained last week. So it's probably going to be Darrell Williams. And last week, I mean, the Falcons really weren't able to move the ball trying to run. It was all on Mariota. And now LA is going to be going up against the Cardinals after a strong comeback. It's going to be tough for them to keep that kind of momentum up, you know what I mean? Like, coming off of a high and now going against this team, they might have it down.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Darrell Williams, I don't know if you could ever feel really comfortable starting him unless I guess he got the full workload if James Conner was like significant, going to be out for a significant amount of time.
Right. So like I looked at his stats afterwards after James Conner got hurt. He had I think it was 8 carries for 50 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, he got a touchdown. They punched it in on the goal line. I mean, and then they use that other dude, Benjamin.
Right, but he's more of the receiving threat.
Yeah. So they kind of used both of them, but yeah, it should be a good week. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. I'm not really excited for the game tomorrow night. Kind of
Who's playing tomorrow again?
Steelers-Browns. Kind of a dud.
I really think that they need to just throw Pickett in. I mean, at this point, fuck it.
Trubisky looks bad.
Yeah, I think the offense would really be able to move the football if he's in.
Yeah.
What's with the fucking planes tonight,
Yeah, bro, we got cooked with the planes.
It's unreal. We were talking before. We thought the crickets were going to be bad. You hear that in the background.
That's
got a
actually the
fucking
first time I've
Boeing
noticed.
747.
Bro, that was the 7th plane that flew over this night.
Yeah, it's insane. It's fucking. I understand. Warzone 2's fucking dropping. Everybody else has got the fucking planes out and shit.
Yeah, no, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Good shit, fellas.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Good up.